I'm calling this Cooking Ridiculous because the goal is to make something ridiculously good. I'm going to a party later tonight, so I wanted to make a dessert that is easily shareable, so I'm gonna make some cupcakes. For the actual flavors though, I was just thinking of what do I like the most, so I like chocolate, obviously, peanut butter, cream cheese frosting is always really good, cheesecake, cookies, raspberries, like raspberry chocolate cheesecake stuff. So I'm going to be trying to mess with that flavors. I'm going to do 2 different kinds of cupcakes. One will be peanut butter chocolate with cream cheese frosting and a little peanut butter mixed into that. The other is going to be raspberry chocolate cupcake with cream cheese frosting as well, and some raspberry jam that I'll make, or raspberry syrup that I'll make and put in it. But I wanted to add one more texture to it. I wanted a little bit of crunch. So what I'm going to do is blend up some chocolate chip cookies and put that between the cream cheese frosting and the cupcake itself to add a little bit of crunch. Just like everything that I make, it is going to be gluten-free. If you want to see for the actual cake, I am making the same cake that I did in my Great British Baking Show video. So if you wanted to see the actual cake, go and watch that video and then come back here to see everything else that I do. I have my cupcakes in the oven now. Now we can start on everything else for it. So we're going to go with the cream cheese frosting next. Got my cream cheese, got my powdered sugar, and that's basically it. There's a little bit of vanilla that goes in it, but let's go ahead and get that going. First is the 8 ounces of cream cheese, and that is normally just one full thing here. We're going to add this in, and then once it is in, we will mix it until it is fully smooth, not in the shape of a block like this. Cream cheese frosting is most often on red velvet cake, which I also love, but we're going to try it on a, ooh, there it goes, on the ground and on my foot. All right, let me clean that up real quick. Cleaned up. Now let's mix this up, and then after that is mixed up, we'll add our powdered sugar. Okay, that's pretty terrible. So it looks like that. Doesn't really get smooth. I'm gonna call that good and get our powdered sugar added. Before I add anything else, it also wants butter. It says softened, so carefully, I'm gonna microwave this for a few seconds. I melted that a little too much. I'm gonna have to wipe up my microwave a little bit. But now we have our softened butter. Throw this away and get mixing on that. Okay, it's mixed in, but it still isn't like a smooth, creamy thing, but it's also just not liquidy enough. Now we add the vanilla and a tiny bit of salt. Then after that, we will add in our powdered sugar. 1 teaspoon of vanilla, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and mix again. Starting to get a little better. We're looking like this right now. Now we slowly add in 4 cups of powdered sugar, or 500 grams of powdered sugar. We are going to add it in gradually. We're at 130 at the moment. Oh, did I break it or did it just come out? Just came out, okay. There we go, got our cream cheese frosting. And now, cupcakes are also going off. Let's take a look. Yes, okay. There are the normal size. I didn't have a second normal size pan, so we got some minis also. These are gonna cool for a little bit, and then once I do that, I will do the, I'm gonna cut a tiny little bit there just to put a little filling in it, so peanut butter or raspberry. But these are going to cool. I'm gonna finish this up, make sure there's nothing else for the cream cheese frosting. For the peanut butter filling, I got my creamy peanut butter. I'm going to heat it up so that it is more liquid, and then I'll put it into this so that I can basically just take a cupcake, squeeze it in, and make sure that I get it that way. Trying to think, because that just means that this will solidify a little more. I'm gonna go look up real quickly how to make like a good dessert peanut sauce real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, everything I found is like peanut butter, corn syrup, or maple syrup, or something like that with brown sugar added. I guess I'll do a little bit of maple syrup with it. I'll grab that and just get started. First thing is just to get our peanut butter melted down, and then we can add everything else. Not all of this is the filling. Some of this will get mixed in with the cream cheese frosting that goes on top of the mini cupcakes. So I am making more than what I think will work in the filling. So now, I need to clean the microwave from the butter. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, keep a close eye on it, because when you microwave any kind of butter, there's a chance that it explodes and goes everywhere. So I'm doing 15-second bursts here, and then I'll stir, and then another 15. I actually don't think it'll need longer than this 15 seconds that's happening right now. And once I do that, I will add in some of the maple syrup. I don't have pure maple syrup, so I'm just using pancake syrup. There we go. Nice and liquidy there. It said 1 to 2 tablespoons, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Now the brown sugar did thicken this up a tiny bit, so I'm gonna re-microwave it again for another 15 seconds. And then from there, I think it'll be good. But it's now been long enough for my cupcakes to go into the fridge. Cupcakes are in the fridge. So let's go ahead and get this in the microwave again for another 15. Hope it doesn't explode. There we go. The good thing about brown sugar is that it also melts pretty easily. Problem is not liquidy enough to go through the funnel. Okay, abandon the funnel. So I'm going to take this over to the sink and do this a bit more carefully. After very carefully putting it there, I was able to get our peanut butter filling in here. But now we are going to work on our raspberry filling. For the raspberry filling, I've got our raspberries here that we're going to use, sugar, some lemon juice, and we'll also put some water in there. Mix it all together, boil it, and then I will sift it into this bowl. And from there, I will put it into another container like this one. It said fresh or frozen raspberries, so I've got some frozen ones. Freshly frozen ones. 12 ounces, which is one full one, and a little bit of this next one. I'll do half of it. Ooh, there we go. Got that heating up. The last thing is a 1/4 cup of sugar, a little over a 1/4 cup. So I'll do a heaping 1/4 cup. There we go. From there, the frozenness and the liquid from the frozen raspberries will end up kind of melting out a little bit. I'll be able to use our spatula to stir it, to mush it a little bit, and get it into a good consistency. There we go. Starting to see some juices coming out. I'm starting to hear it sizzle a tiny bit there. While that's going, there is one thing that I forgot about, which was our cookies that are going to be in between our frosting and our filling layer. So I'm just grabbing stuff out to get ready for that. And I almost forgot as well, some lemon juice here. They said 1 teaspoon. I like to eyeball things though. We're basically just letting this boil and simmer for a little bit. Good stretch. No, don't go back there. This is just about ready. Got our strainer here. Anything that doesn't go through the strainer, I will put back into our pan here. Yeah, basically the only thing left in the strainer now is seeds. Everything else has been, well, the actual berries kind of been melted down for the most part, and everything pressed out of those and into our bowl here. This one, our funnel should be able to work. I did clean the funnel, so there shouldn't be any peanut butter coming through on this. It's actually a little warm for now, so I'm gonna give it a moment before I pour it into our plastic bottle. I did just realize that it's peanut butter and raspberry sauce, but kind of PB&J here. Is that all being an adult is? Making fancier versions of childhood foods? I feel like it is. Okay, anyway. I'm going to clean this and get our cookies going. I made a gluten-free cheesecake a while ago using these gluten-free cookies as the crust, and it was incredible. So I'm going to do something similar for this, with having this be the crunch layer between the cupcake filling cookie and then cream cheese frosting. So maybe it'll give a little bit of a cheesecake vibe as well. Basically, put all the cookies in here, throw in some butter. This is 5 tablespoons of butter. You could do less or more butter, but basically that's just to help it combine together a little bit. And I will say the goal of this is to make the best cupcakes ever, not the healthiest. So not thinking about that in this moment. And butter. Put on our lid. And then I'm basically just going to spoon this on top of the cupcakes. Now let's get our raspberry sauce here. Looking good. We've got our cupcakes out now. Now I'm going to cut a small little like tube into the middle. Put both of our sauces in there and then cover with our cookie. So I changed how I was doing this. Instead of removing cupcake, I just cut X's in it and then just kind of push stuff to the side to make room. So now let's go ahead and fill up our 6 peanut butter ones. And it is okay if they overflow some because those cookies are going on top of them. And the rest of this will get mixed in with cream cheese frosting that goes on our minis. Raspberry is much more liquid, so it's probably going to soak into the actual cupcake itself. Yeah, I can immediately see once I stop pouring it, some of it just soaks in. And just like the peanut butter ones, the rest of this will get mixed into the cream cheese frosting for that. But now it's time for our cookies here. Spoon or knife? Think. Knife. You know what I just realized? I forgot to spray the pan on the minis. Whoops. See how well those even come out. We've got our cupcakes covered in cookies. I'll clean this. Then we will get our raspberry and peanut butter cream cheese frosting on there. For the cream cheese frosting, we're going to need to split this in 2 bowls. And I don't need to mix these incredibly well, just enough that it's noticeable of which one is which so people know if they're getting peanut butter or raspberry. Now I'm going with my piping bags here, going with a bigger hole for the peanut butter one, smaller one for the raspberry one, just because the raspberry one is a tiny bit liquidier. There we go. Okay. Now, how do I fill this? As you can tell, not that experienced with a piping bag. Before I do anything else, I've got to wash off my hands. Okay. Now we need our raspberry. This one I'm just going to go spoon. Okay, so we've got our piping bags and our cupcakes. So now let's pipe. Okay, there we go. Now we have our peanut butter and raspberry cupcakes here. Chocolate fudge cake with peanut butter filling and chocolate chip cookie crumble with peanut butter cream cheese ice cream. And then this one was the raspberry filling with the chocolate fudge cake and the chocolate chip cookie crumble and raspberry cream cheese frosting over here. Only thing left to do, give them a try. Let's give peanut butter one a try. It is super good. I don't know if it's as good as I wanted it to be though. I didn't get to the peanut butter filling at all. There it is. With the filling. Almost as good as I wanted it to be. For the raspberry one, I'm actually going to cut it in half to try and get a good bite with the filling immediately. Bilbo. Back up. No cupcakes for you. Got some raspberry in there. And I'll do this one bite. With how rich the chocolate is, I think the raspberry one goes much better with it. I think the raspberry one's a little bit better. This was my attempt at making the best cupcakes ever. Still great, short of my own expectations. Let me know what other challenges I should try.